that I'm missing here? You got me so upset. I can't think straight. That's okay.
I'm just going to follow up on that. And what about women in combat?
Women in combat.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems they had with the Equal Rights Amendment.
Yeah.
They were saying that that's one of the reasons that it shouldn't be passed, because not only would it bring good things to women, but then they'd have to be drafted. Well, I think, God, that's like a worse Title IX thing to think about.
Yeah, exactly. That's
all war is bad. And I don't believe in the empire that we've got going on right now in the States. But again, I think that we have to be drafted into the military. I don't think there should be a draft at all, because if your citizens aren't willing to fight for the war you want, then it's obviously unfounded. You shouldn't have it. But I think that we have to have women in the front lines of the military. Not all. No, go on, please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't our efforts be better expended on saying, let's cut down combat for everybody?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
let's go that direction rather than getting up. Women have to have the right to kill and torture just like men.
No.
Then they'll be equal with men. You know.
No.
So the direction should be, let's cut that all out
When you
for
ask
everybody.
me the one question, I have to say yes. But if I had a limited amount of funds and time, I wouldn't be on the streets advocating for women to go to war. I would be advocating that the men need to come home from war.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's a really good point. Please, more questions.
Well, I mean, in case of my personal experience, my sister, for instance, she works and her husband works. But both, I mean, her husband pays for everything in the house. I mean, he pays for everything from from appliances to food on the table and etc. And he still gives her money every month. That's supposed to be a duty, for a man's duty to give his wife a certain amount, not a fixed amount, but and whatever she makes, she keeps for herself. I mean, so don't you think that's one way of buying off her consent to? I mean, it's sort of like, look, I'm paying for everything, so I'm the boss here.
You must be very popular in your family, bringing these things up. Yeah, of course that is. Of course that happens all the time. In situations where women aren't bringing home money at all, it happens a lot where they aren't employed. And they don't have any say sometimes in the house, because the husband signs all the checks. It's definitely buying her silence and her consent and her approval. Because what right do you have to talk? You're not bringing in any money. So that's a very, very true thing.
Could you talk a minute or two about, I went to graduate school in Massachusetts, and you probably visited up there.
I went to boarding school actually for a year in Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Okay,
It's still in the
okay. So you've been to NoHo and everything.
No, I was 14. We weren't
Oh,
allowed
you
to go
were
anywhere.
14. Okay. Well, you're familiar with the area.
No, I really, we weren't allowed off the campus hardly.
So you stayed in Greenfield.
Pretty much.
Oh, geez.
Pretty much. We went to Northfield, Mount Herman for a few dances.
Oh no.
We were 14. It was an all-girls school. We were under lock and key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's because the Valley there's a lot of radical feminists there.
Oh yeah, like Mount Holyoke.
Well, Northampton, Smith
Yeah.
College, Hampshire, etc., UMass.
Yeah.
And the women there, whenever there's an incidence of sexism on any of the campuses, it's not, giggle and, whoa. I mean, they become militant, and they will unite and attack. How do we move from a culture here where we giggle or hush up continuous, every day, blatant abuses, to the point where women feel everything is fine? How do we move from this to where women fight back, men fight back, people in general fight back against it?
I wish I could tell you an answer. I'm searching for that myself. I think a lot of it would come from education, not just college education, because a lot